When I was younger, I was a juvenile delinquent. I was arrested a bunch of times as a teenager. I was in trouble all the time, and I never really had any direction. My 20s was just a big blur of me drinking and playing video games and just wasting my time and my life.
Hello everyone, I'm Yopi from Yopis English School. 本日はアメリカ人のドリアン・ドミンゲスさんが自らの体験とともに人生は30歳からでも遅くないということを教えてくれるクリップを見ながらネイティブが使うリアルな英会話フレーズを学んでいきます。By the way, if you want to see the original clip, there's a link down below. So without further ado, let's get straight into it.
For some reason or another, I don't know if it's society, if it's the way we're brought up, if it's social media, our parents. We all think we need to have everything figured out by the time we're 25. And if we don't have our lives together by the time we're 30, we're just losers and there's no hope for us.
Loser.
I wanted to make this video just to let people know that even if you wasted your 20s and you partied or you drank and did drugs or played video games the whole time or just didn't do much, it is 100% possible to turn your life around and make changes in your 30s to improve your life, to improve your finances, to improve your health, to improve your mental health, and just be a better person and make more money and live the life you want. I want to just tell you a little bit about myself. I'm 37 years old now. I just had a birthday recently. Yay! At 32 years old, I landed my first programming job after teaching myself how to code for almost a year. Before learning how to code, I worked a lot of customer service jobs. I've been a waiter, I've been a valet attendant, I've been a bellman, I've worked retail, and I've done a lot of odd jobs. When I was younger, I was a juvenile delinquent. I was arrested a bunch of times as a teenager. I was in trouble all the time, and I never really had any direction. My 20s was just a big blur of me drinking and playing video games and just wasting my time and my life. And right around the time I was 31 years old, just about to turn 32, my wife and I were gonna have our first kid. At this point, I was parking cars at a strip club in Las Vegas. I was making okay money, but it wasn't anything I can do for a long time, and I really had no future. I had no skills outside of waiting tables and parking cars that could bring me in any money. I was gonna have to figure out how I could make a living and actually have something that I can do for the next 10, 20 years or so, and parking cars for dancers and strip club customers wasn't gonna cut it. So after a lifetime of just being a degenerate, I decided that I was going to improve my life. I decided to pick up a skill that would help me provide my family with a better life. And I taught myself how to code, and I spent almost a whole year doing that. There was a lot of ups and downs. There was a lot of times when I thought it wasn't going to be possible, but eventually I did land a job as a web developer, and I've been working as a software developer now for almost 5 years. If you ask anyone who knows me, no one would have expected me to be able to accomplish this. I know that when I was learning how to code, there was probably a lot of people who thought I was crazy.
You're crazy, man. You're crazy.
Because I would tell them how I saw people on the internet who said that they did it, and I was following YouTube videos and doing free tutorials online to teach me how to do it. And although nobody said it to my face, I'm sure there was a lot of people thinking that I was wasting my time. I'm glad that I did it, and I'm glad that I decided to stick with it. And now that I'm almost 40, I realized something that I wish I would have learned before. At any point in time, you can change the direction of your life. You can do just about anything you put your mind to. I remember adults telling me that. I remember teachers telling me that. I remember my probation officer telling me that when I was 17 years old, just coming off of probation right before I moved to Las Vegas. And I didn't listen to any of them. I just went about doing the same stuff I was always doing until I was scared straight. And I was scared straight because I was having a kid, and I didn't want to be a loser dad. I didn't want my kids to have the struggle. I didn't want to be 50 years old waiting tables, and I didn't want to be 50 years old parking cars. It was a lot of perseverance. It was a lot of grit. It was a lot of consistency. It was just me deciding to do something and sticking with it. And that's something that I never really did before in my life, because I was just always that kind of person who would pick things up and put it down and never followed through with anything. And I was definitely an underachiever. Now I realized that I can do anything I want. I was able to do the learning how to code thing, and I accomplished that. And now I want to move on to the next thing, because for such a long time, I was my own worst enemy. And I didn't let myself see that all of these things were possible because of my own self-doubts and maybe the way that I was raised to think, and the way that I just never thought in abundance and never realized that all of this stuff is out there for the taking. You just gotta work really hard. You gotta get up every day and do what you need to do to go get it. And that's really the big secret. So if you're in your 30s now, if you're in your 40s, in your 50s, and you haven't lived the best life up to this point, and you're looking to make a change and you stumbled across this video, I hope it helps you. Believe me when I tell you that if I can do this stuff, you can too. Everyone's advantages and disadvantages are different. Some of us are worse off than others. Some of us are better off than others. But regardless of your circumstances, regardless of your situation, with the internet, you have the ability to learn anything and do anything you want. I'm just trying to let you know that it's possible. So, go get it.
はい、いかがでしたか？では続いてクリップ内に出てきた英会話フレーズを4つピックアップして解説していきます。1つ目はこちら。
For some reason or another.
For some reason or another.
For some reason or another. For some reason or another. 何らかの理由で。ここで言う some はいくつかのという意味ではなく、何らかのという意味で使われています。後に来る reason に複数形の s がついていないことからも、いくつかのという意味ではないということがわかると思います。ちなみに or another を省略して for some reason だけで使うことも多いです。例えば I'm not hungry for some reason なぜだかお腹が空かないななんて使い方ができます。では続いて2つ目のフレーズはこちら。
And if we don't have our lives together by the time we're 30, and if we don't have our lives together by the time we're 30,
Get one's life together. Get one's life together. 人生を取り戻す。人生を軌道に乗せる。かなりよく使うスラングですが、パッと見意味が分かりづらいですよね。おそらくなんですが、バラバラに散らかったような人生を一つにまとめるみたいなイメージから、この Get one's life together というフレーズになったんじゃないかなと思います。つまり、乱れた生活パターンやひいては人生そのものをしっかりと軌道に乗せるという意味になりますよね。よく聞くのは Get your life together と子供に対して喝を入れる場面です。しっかりしろみたいな意味にも取れますね。似たような意味のフレーズに Get a life というものがあります。これもまともな人生を生きなさいみたいな意味で、例えば一日中 TikTok を見ている子供に対し Oh, get a life なんていうことができそうです。では続いて3つ目のフレーズはこちら。
I landed my first programming job.
I landed my first programming job.
Land a job. Land a job. 仕事に就く。Land は着陸するという意味の他に陸揚げをするや魚を釣り上げるという意味があります。それを用いて land a job というと仕事を釣り上げる、捕獲するみたいなイメージになり、仕事に就くという意味になります。例えば She landed a job at one of the most famous law firms in New York. 彼女はニューヨークで最も有名な法律事務所の一つに就職したのように使うことができます。では最後、4つ目のフレーズはこちら。
And I taught myself how to code.
And I taught myself how to code.
Teach myself. Teach myself. 何々を独学で学ぶ。直訳すると自分自身に教えるとなるので、学校などで習うのではなく、自分自身で教材等を見つけ、独学するという意味になります。もちろん、study by myself や study on my own なんかでも通じますが、teach myself といった方がグッドネイティブっぽいフレーズになります。例えば、I taught myself English 私は英語を独学で勉強しましたなんて使い方ができます。皆さんもこれまで独学で勉強したこと、身につけたものがある方は、この teach myself を使って例文を作ってみてください。本日は以上となります。See you next time!